Hi guys, it's Aj here from Kurly K Naturals. I hope you're all doing well. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, it's because 'tis the season to be jolly, and I didn't get to wear none of my outfits that I wanted to wear this year, so you're gonna see all of them just because I love you guys. So in today's videos, we're going to be talking about some of the setbacks I have overcome with my kids' hair. We're going to take one child at a time and dissect their setbacks and how I've overcome that. Yeah, so let's get into it. The child that I'm going to be talking about first is Zion. All my kids, bear in mind, were born with bone straight hair, and after a while they changed. Zion's another complete story, we'll get to her, but they'll change. So with his hair being bone straight, when it changed, it got some curls to it. Never as tightly curled as Maya's, but yes, it got some curl definition to it. So the front of his hair was perfect, it was fine, but the back of his hair, and a lot of you can relate to this, started becoming dry, and there was nothing I could do at that point that I found that was working for his hair. This is when I think Cream of Nature released their honey line, and I thought, let me just experiment with it. And when I got it, his hair absolutely loved it. So from then I discovered that Zion's hair loved honey, so it kept it moisturized. And Zion's hair really closely, out of all my kids, resembles my husband's hair. It's not black, it's a dirty brown color, and in the sun it's like a golden brown color. So at first glance with Zion's hair, you think it's dry, or you just think it's dirty, but that's just the nature of his hair. And his hair is very dull looking, it's extremely dull looking. I always wanted to like make it shiny, and I had to come to a realization that he just has dull looking hair, and his hair is absolutely perfect, it's lovely, and no matter how moisturized his hair is, it would just constantly look dull. So I had to come to a realization of that as well, and along with his hair loving honey. So that brings me to the part where his hair was breaking off. One, he wasn't sleeping on satin sheets, so I had to then quickly change that for him to sleep on silk or satin sheets. And then two, I also discovered that his hair doesn't really take to a lot of things. One being particular is really harsh shampoos. So I quickly discovered if I use harsh shampoos on his hair, it just irritates his scalp, one, and the breakage just continues. So that's when I did my research into clay masks. So when I started incorporating clay mask into Zion's hair, which was when he was about 2 years old, he's 3 now, so it's been a year since I've been incorporating clay mask, and when I say his hair has flourished, you would not even know from now that the back of his hair was his problem area for a good 1.5 years of his life. So these clay masks has really helped him, because one, it cleanses his hair, two, it doesn't irritate his scalp because it's all natural, three, it leaves his hair cleansed but moisturized, and four, it just absolutely works for Zion. That's why I say get to know your child's hair and get to know what works and doesn't work for his hair. I know that honey, his hair takes to honey like bees, as I said. You can see the drastic change from this photo to this photo. So yeah, I hope that helped someone. So we move right along to Miss Maya Ann. Maya Ann's hair journey, honestly, she's my first child, and she is my trial and error. She is my experiment. She is the Frankenstein of my life. So yes, when I had Maya, again, she had bone straight hair, and as she grew, her hair also grew, and I really didn't know what to do to her hair, and that forced me into this whole hair lifestyle. And I didn't want any of my kids to conform to the stigma of black people can't grow their hair, because that is absolutely a lie. So as I did my research, and there's a lot of trial and error that I did, for the first 2.5 years of Maya's hair, I was using the complete wrong product on her hair. I didn't know how to read ingredients, so I was just picking up whatever any YouTuber would suggest. I've spent so much money on unnecessary products. So I would just do the basic washing and an LCO method or an LO method, but nevertheless Maya's hair never broke, it continued to grow. But as I'm inserting these pictures, you can see the different stages her hair texture has changed throughout looking after her hair. And at one point when Maya was about 1.5 years, her hair had the most beautiful curls ever, and I had managed to destroy that by just constantly blow drying her hair. I would blow dry her hair once every 2 months just because I didn't know how to manage her hair. So I thought if in a stretched form, it'll be easier for me to take care of her hair. So as I delved more into this natural hair thing and really just educating myself, all in all I cut about 3 to about 4 inches of Maya's hair last year, and I made it my mission to use less heat or no heat whatsoever. And this year I've only stretched out her hair with a blow dryer twice. That was once in March. I was sending pictures here to see just how far we've come, and again when she went into reception, where I blew out her hair and did her cane rows for reception because she was going to look like a bad girl in the playground. I didn't care what no one said, and her hair has grown. I've seen so much growth with this little girl's hair in the last 12 months or less than 12 months, about 11 months, than I think I've ever seen in her life. And yes, give and take, I have been trimming her hair, I've been dusting off her ends. So for her to retain so much length in 12 months, I am extremely proud of myself and proud of her as well. So yeah, her setbacks was just me just not knowing how to look after her hair. Her hair has always given me a lifeline, I can't even lie, because with the things I've done to Maya's hair, some other kids' hair would have just absolutely gone broken off, but Maya's hair has always given me a lifeline, and I'm glad that I've taken that lifeline and really done something with it. And yeah, the proof is in the pudding, girl. So yeah, that's why I also stress that you educate yourself, and just, my word is not Bible. I'm just teaching you what I have learnt over the years and what has helped my kids' hair. So if I say anything and you want to delve further into it, please do your research, because not everyone's child's hair likes honey like Zion, because Maya's hair doesn't take to honey like Zion, or neither desires. So every child is absolutely different. What works for me and my techniques might not necessarily work for you. And if you're doing something and you absolutely think it's working, go for it, do it, because not everyone will put clay in their kids' hair, but I know it works for me and my kids, so I absolutely will do that. I really didn't have any setbacks until, so again, born with bone straight hair, and she has always kept her straightness of hair up until even now. Her hair, when it's wet, will have some sort of curl to it, but as soon as it dries, she could probably only have like 2 ringlets of curls, and that's about it. I don't like putting my kids in hair types like a 4, 5 or 1 or whatever. Yeah, Zaya has for the most part the less amount of curls out of any of my kids. So one of her setbacks is from the day she was born, Zaya's comfort was always rubbing her ears in this kind of motion. Ooh, girl, my hair. Yeah, just rubbing and tugging at her ear and the back of her hair as a comfort mechanism, I guess. So whenever she was tired, she'll rub her ears or the back of her hair on her ear, and whenever she's feeding, she'll do that. A lot of kids do this. They'll rather like suck their thumb, and she's been doing that lately. Suck the thumb or rub a piece of cloth or something. It's just a normal thing. For her first birthday, I decided to put her hair in, you know, the true Thompson hairstyle, and that's when I started noticing that the right side of her ear is starting to bald. The back of her hair was starting to bald. She doesn't have tight hairstyles, so it wasn't any hairstyle that I was doing that was too tight for her. And even if I put her hair up in a bun, I'll put her hair up once every 3 months. So it was not me constantly putting her hair in a bun. Comfort mechanism of rubbing her ears when she's sleeping or when she's tired or feeding, that has caused friction between her hair, started to bald away. So that was one of it. And at the front of her hair, she decided to just pull out her hair, and it gets to a point where some kids decide to pull out their hair, and that's exactly what Zaya did. She pulled the front of her hair, and I didn't look at it like, oh my days, Zaya. I just looked at it like, okay, we have to just grow this back. So what I gradually started doing is every time she was feeding or she was tired and she reached for her ears, I would just gently pull her hand down. And as time went on, gradually, it's only been like 4 months now, she has stopped doing that. And within that 4 months, yes, I wash her hair every week, but in between every 2 to 3 days I go in and moisturize her hair. However, with the bald patch behind her ear, I make sure I go in with a mix of water and aloe. The leave-in spray, make sure it's warm, and I spritz it down a little bit, and I will add some oils together. So what I really started incorporating was burdock root. You might not be into Ayurveda, but that's fine. Castor oil will work absolutely fine for you, but I like to infuse my castor oil with some burdock root. Literally just drop it in her hair and really massage that area. And I've been taking pictures of her journey so far, and yeah, and I think as for now I can see how much her hair is coming along. It's gaining some thickness to it, and that's down to the burdock root and the castor oil as well. I feel like these two are a great combination for me. But as I said in my previous post, Zaya has fine hair but really dense strands, so castor oil will work fine for her. But if your child doesn't have dense hair or dense strands, castor oil might be a bit too thick for you. So if you wanted to incorporate a different type of oil, then you can absolutely use jojoba oil, because I also mix that as well. Jojoba oil, sweet almond oil, and one key ingredient that whatever oil you use, one key ingredient is peppermint essential oil. Peppermint essential oil is the plug for a growing back hair. That will stimulate growth. It also circulates the blood in that area that you're applying it to. I've got a post all about how essential oils helps your hair, stimulates growth, so go and check that out as well. And also every single day I go in like for 2 minutes and massage that area while she's sleeping. If she's awake, that girl is not going to let me touch her hair. Guys, setbacks come in so many different shapes and forms, and don't be afraid of setbacks. It happens. We're all human. There's one thing that will work for us for a very, very long time, and one day we'll find that we use that product and it just doesn't work for our hair. That can be because of so many different reasons, and I'm going to delve further into that in my next post. Stay tuned for that. I hope these tips have helped you. If there was anything that you didn't understand or you wanted me to elaborate more on, please feel free to slide in my DMs. Like, I'm literally here to help you. Any advice I can give you, I will do. And if you wanted to just make up your own concoction for your child, we can figure out what works for your child's hair together. Absolutely no problem for me. So just anytime you feel like you have a problem, just please let me know. And if I don't see you before Christmas, if I don't see you guys, have a great holiday. Enjoy it, honestly, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So just enjoy your holiday and just be merry and just be grateful, because a lot of people did not make it this year, honestly. So if you have made it, God loves you and you're here for a purpose. So enjoy it. Until next time, guys, catch me. Peace. Bye.